Welcome to our channel, your ultimate destination for everything WWE. Today we're diving into a deeply emotional topic, the tragic S of legendary wrestlers who left us far too soon. From shocking accidents to heartbreaking health issues, these stories remind us of the sacrifices these superstars made, and that's not all. So we've got some very upsetting news about Stephanie McMahon. Make sure to stay till the end for all the details, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more WWE updates. Christin Able was a passionate and talented professional wrestler whose impact on the independent wrestling circuit continues to resonate. Born in the United States in 1984, Abel entered the world of wrestling in the early 2000s, driven by a deep love for the sport. Through intense training and determination, she quickly established herself as a rising star, earning praise for her athleticism, energy, and charisma. Known for her dynamic in-ring style and ability to connect with audiences, Abel brought heart and fire to every match she wrestled. She competed in numerous independent promotions, always pushing herself to grow and improve. Her versatility made her a standout performer, and fans appreciated her raw dedication and undeniable presence in the ring. Beyond her physical talent, it was Kristen's passion and resilience that made her so beloved among her peers. Fellow wrestlers often spoke of her commitment, professionalism, and the inspiration she brought to locker rooms across the country. Tragically, her life was cut short in 2016 at just 31 or 32 years old, sending shockwaves through the wrestling community. Her passing left a profound void, with fans and colleagues mourning the loss of a performer who had so much more to give. Tributes poured in, honoring not only her wrestling ability but also her vibrant spirit and the joy she brought to others. Though her career was brief, Christin Able's legacy endures as a symbol of perseverance and passion. She remains a powerful reminder of the challenges faced by athletes, especially in the demanding world of wrestling, and the importance of mental health awareness. Today, Christin Able is remembered not only for her contributions inside the ring, but for the inspiration she continues to offer to aspiring wrestlers everywhere. Hercules, hailed as one of the most iconic bodybuilders of his era, left an indelible mark on the world of fitness and strength. Born in the mid-20th century, he rose swiftly through the ranks of competitive bodybuilding thanks to his extraordinary physique, relentless work ethic, and unwavering discipline. His impressive victories in prestigious competitions earned him a place among the legends of the sport, and he soon became a symbol of physical excellence and inspiration for aspiring athletes worldwide. Despite his triumphs, Hercules faced significant personal and physical challenges. The extreme demands of professional bodybuilding took a toll on his body over time. Years of intense training, strict dieting, and the possible use of performance-enhancing substances contributed to a series of health complications, including joint deterioration and cardiovascular strain. These issues, though difficult, did not deter him from continuing his pursuit of perfection in the sport he loved. Tragically, Hercules' life was cut short by heart disease, a condition likely exacerbated by the toll of his lifestyle. His sudden passing was a devastating blow to his family, who lost not just a champion, but a loving father, husband, and mentor. The bodybuilding world also mourned deeply, shaken by the loss of a true legend. His sparked important conversations within the fitness community about the risks of extreme bodybuilding and the importance of balancing ambition with overall health. Today, Hercules' legacy lives on not just in the titles he won or the physique he built, but in the lessons his life imparted. He remains a powerful symbol of strength, perseverance, and the need for mindful wellness, reminding future generations to pursue greatness responsibly. Big John Quinn, born on October 15, 1941, was a towering presence in professional wrestling, both literally and figuratively. With his massive frame tipping the scales at over 300 pounds and larger-than-life charisma, Quinn became a standout figure during the golden era of wrestling in the 1970s and 1980s. His wrestling journey began in the early 1960s, when he entered the ring with a powerful combination of strength, agility, and showmanship. Competing in various regional promotions, Quinn quickly earned a reputation as a formidable competitor. He squared off against some of the biggest names in the business, holding his own and often stealing the spotlight with his commanding presence and memorable promos. Fans were drawn to his energy and intensity, and fellow wrestlers respected his work ethic and professionalism. Beyond his in-ring persona, Big John Quinn was admired for his genuine warmth and generous spirit. He actively participated in community outreach and charitable causes, using his celebrity status to uplift others. Whether engaging with fans or helping those in need, Quinn left a lasting impression as someone who truly cared. Quinn's impact went far beyond the squared circle. He embodied the spirit of an era when wrestling was both spectacle and storytelling, leaving behind a legacy cherished by fans and peers alike. His untimely passing on April 22, 2019, marked the end of a remarkable life, but his contributions to the world of wrestling and the lives he touched outside of it continue to be remembered with admiration and affection. Big John Quinn remains a symbol of strength, kindness, and passion, a true legend whose legacy lives on in the hearts of those who watched him perform and knew the man behind the persona. Gorilla Monsoon, born Robert James Morella on June 4, 1937, was a towering figure in professional wrestling, both literally and figuratively. Standing 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighing over 400 pounds during his in-ring career, Monsoon was a dominant force throughout the 1960s and 1970s. He captivated fans with his raw power, presence, and unforgettable bouts in Madison Square Garden. Known for intense rivalries with legends such as Bruno Sammartino and Andre the Giant, Monsoon's man versus monster matches were among the most thrilling spectacles of their time. While his wrestling career was impressive, it was Monsoon's transition to the broadcast booth in the 1980s that cemented his status as a true legend. As a lead commentator for the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE, Monsoon became the voice of a generation. His partnership with Bobby the Brain Heenan is widely regarded as one of the greatest commentary duos in wrestling history. Their chemistry, comedic timing, and heartfelt banter elevated matches and drew fans deeper into the storytelling. Monsoon's commentary was filled with memorable catchphrases and colorful terms, pandemonium and a real Pier 6 brawl, that became iconic parts of wrestling vocabulary. His ability to blend excitement, emotion, and narrative clarity helped define the viewing experience for millions of fans during wrestling's boom periods. Beyond the microphone, Monsoon was respected backstage for his intelligence, leadership, and deep love for the sport. He played a crucial role behind the scenes in shaping WWE's production and talent development. Gorilla Monsoon, but his legacy lives on. Remembered as both a gentle giant and a passionate voice of wrestling, Monsoon remains a beloved figure whose impact on the industry will never be forgotten. Mike Mantaur Halac, born on May 14, 1968 in Omaha, Nebraska, was a professional wrestler best remembered for his time in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, during the mid-1990s. Halac's most iconic role came in 1995 when he debuted as Mantaur, a unique and eccentric character that captured the bold, often surreal spirit of wrestling in that era. Before joining the WWF, Halac honed his skills in various independent promotions across the US and Europe. His imposing size and in-ring presence made him stand out, eventually leading to his WWF signing. As Mantaur, Halac portrayed a half-man, half-beast hybrid, complete with a bull-like headpiece during entrances. The gimmick was designed to intimidate opponents, emphasizing raw power and brute force. Mantaur debuted in early 1995 and quickly gained attention as a mid-card attraction. He faced off with stars like Razor Ramon and Bam Bam Bigelow, and even competed in the 1995 Royal Rumble. While the character drew initial curiosity, it struggled to sustain long-term fan engagement. Halac left the WWF later that year, but continued wrestling in smaller promotions, occasionally reviving the Mantaur persona. Outside the ring, Halac contributed to the wrestling world as a trainer and mentor, helping guide younger talent with his experience and insight, prompting many to reflect on his unique place in wrestling history. Though his time as Mantaur was brief, the character remains a nostalgic favorite among fans. Halac's legacy lives on as a reminder of a wildly creative era in wrestling, where anything was possible, and sometimes even a man-beast could leave a lasting mark. Sapphire, born Juanita Wright, was a beloved and trailblazing figure in professional wrestling, best remembered for her role as the charismatic valet and manager of the American Dream Dusty Rhodes in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, during the late 1980s and early 1990s. With her signature polka dot outfits and vibrant personality, Sapphire brought an unmistakable charm to the ring that endeared her to fans across the globe. She made her WWF debut not as a wrestler, but as a passionate fan of Dusty Rhodes. Her enthusiasm quickly transitioned into an on-screen partnership, as she became his manager and a vital part of his persona. The duo's chemistry was undeniable, with their matching polka dots symbolizing unity and spirit. Sapphire added a fresh and heartfelt dynamic to Rhodes' character, helping make their pairing one of the most memorable in that era of wrestling. One of Sapphire's most iconic moments came at WrestleMania 6, when she and Dusty Rhodes faced off in a mixed tag team match against Macho King Randy Savage and Sensational Sherry. Despite being relatively new to the ring, Sapphire held her own, bringing both energy and determination. Her presence in the match stood as a testament to the underdog spirit she and Rhodes represented. Beyond her in-ring involvement, Sapphire was a pioneer. As one of the few African-American women in mainstream wrestling at the time, she broke barriers in a male-dominated and often exclusive industry. Her success helped open doors for future generations of women of color in wrestling. Sapphire, but her legacy remains strong. She is remembered not only as a loyal companion to Dusty Rhodes, but also as a groundbreaking and beloved figure who left an indelible mark on professional wrestling. Darren Drozdov, known to wrestling fans as Droz, was a former NFL player turned WWE superstar whose life was marked by resilience and courage. Born on April 7, 1969 in Mays Landing, New Jersey, Droz was a standout defensive lineman at the University of Maryland before briefly playing in the NFL for teams like the Denver Broncos, New York Jets, and Philadelphia Eagles. He gained a unique reputation for his ability to vomit on command, a bizarre talent that earned him the nickname Puke and was famously showcased in the wrestling documentary Beyond the Mat. Droz joined WWE in 1998 during the height of the Attitude Era. With his distinctive look, tattoos, piercings, and a mohawk, he was introduced as a member of the Legion of Doom alongside Hawk and Animal. His unorthodox persona fit perfectly with the edgy, rebellious tone of the era, and he quickly gained attention as a promising talent. Tragically, Droz's in-ring career ended abruptly on October 5, 1999, during a match with D'Lo Brown. A botched maneuver caused a catastrophic neck injury that left him paralyzed from the neck down. Despite the devastating injury, Droz remained remarkably positive and became a symbol of strength within the wrestling community. Following the accident, Droz stayed connected to WWE, contributing columns and making appearances. His determination and optimistic spirit inspired countless fans and fellow wrestlers alike. Droz, the wrestling world mourned the loss of a man remembered not just for his athleticism, but for his unwavering courage. Though his wrestling career was cut short, Droz's legacy lives on as a powerful reminder of resilience and the human spirit's capacity to endure. Stephanie Marie McMahon Levesque, born on September 24, 1976 in Hartford, Connecticut, has long stood as a cornerstone in the world of professional wrestling and corporate leadership. As the daughter of Vince McMahon, WWE's controversial yet trailblazing chairman, and Linda McMahon, former CEO and a former U.S. government official, Stephanie was destined to carry the mantle of the McMahon legacy. Her journey through WWE reflects not only a deep-rooted connection to the business, but also a personal evolution that mirrors the highs and lows of the company itself. A McMahon by birth, a leader by design, Stephanie was born into the royal family of wrestling, a fourth-generation promoter whose childhood was steeped in the traditions and trials of the wrestling business. From attending Greenwich Country Day School and Greenwich High School to earning a communications degree from Boston University, Stephanie received an education that blended privilege with preparation. In 2019, she added another feather to her academic cap by attending Robert Morris University. Towering at 1.75 meters, Stephanie McMahon was never content with simply being a figurehead. She embodied strength, grace, and authority, both on television and in the boardroom. From storylines to strategy, career evolution, Stephanie McMahon's WWE journey is marked by a dual identity, both as a prominent on-screen character and as a powerful behind-the-scenes executive. Her on-screen presence began in the late 1990s during WWE's Attitude Era, where she became entangled in numerous high-profile storylines. From her feuds with top stars to her stint as WWE Women's Champion, Stephanie became one of the most recognizable figures in sports entertainment. But her influence extended far beyond the ring. Behind the curtain, Stephanie climbed WWE's corporate ladder, eventually serving as Executive Vice President of Creative Development and Operations, and then as Chief Brand Officer, CBO. Her strategic vision was instrumental in pushing WWE into new markets and modernizing its image. Stephanie spearheaded campaigns like Connor's Cure, aimed at fighting pediatric cancer, and played a pivotal role in bringing WWE's brand into the mainstream through partnerships with global corporations. Her marriage to WWE legend Paul Triple H Levesque in 2003 was not just a romantic union, but also a symbolic joining of two wrestling powerhouses. The couple has three daughters, Aurora Rose, Murphy Claire, and Vaughn Evelyn, often seen as the potential next generation of the McMahon dynasty. A surprising exit in 2022. After years of being a central figure both on and off screen, Stephanie shocked the WWE universe in May 2022 when she announced a leave of absence to focus on her family. The announcement came with minimal fanfare but carried seismic implications. At the time, WWE was already navigating choppy waters, and her departure left many wondering about the future of the company's leadership. However, the tides turned quickly. When Vince McMahon stepped down in July 2022 amid a storm of serious allegations and an internal investigation, Stephanie stepped up, returning as interim chairwoman and co-CEO alongside Nick Khan. Her brief reign during this turbulent chapter earned widespread praise. She brought stability, transparency, and a sense of renewal to a company desperately in need of leadership. Another departure, and more questions. Just when it seemed Stephanie was poised to become the permanent face of WWE's corporate future, January 2023 brought another twist. Vince McMahon made a shocking return to the board of directors, and shortly after, Stephanie resigned from her position once again. She cited a desire to focus on her family and personal growth, but behind the scenes, speculation was rampant. Many believe the move signaled internal conflict, possibly driven by creative and strategic disagreements with her father. This departure, unlike the one in 2022, felt more final, or so it seemed. A quiet but significant return. In 2025, fast forward to 2025, and Stephanie McMahon is back, not in a flashy televised role, nor with a formal title, but in a more elusive capacity. Reports confirm that she's working behind the scenes, offering guidance and strategic input. This return, quiet and unofficial as it is, has reignited conversations about WWE's future. Her re-entry coincides with yet another turbulent era in WWE, marked by Vince McMahon's lingering presence, creative instability, and a rapidly changing professional wrestling landscape. The big question on everyone's mind: what is Stephanie McMahon really up to? Internal challenges. WWE must overcome Stephanie's return, even if under the radar, comes at a crucial moment. WWE faces several internal and external challenges that threaten its market position and cultural relevance. 1. The Vince McMahon conundrum. Vince McMahon's return to power, particularly after the WWE-UFC merger under the TKO Holdings banner, has left the corporate structure in a state of flux. Despite facing allegations that led to his initial retirement, Vince has reasserted his influence over WWE's creative and operational decisions. This has created a palpable tension backstage, with reports of discontent from both talent and executives. Some see Stephanie as the only viable counterbalance to Vince's polarizing leadership. Others worry that her return could reignite the power struggle that has haunted WWE's upper management for years. The truth may lie somewhere in between. Stephanie could be playing the long game, quietly building alliances and preparing for a leadership reshuffle. 2. Low morale among talent. One of the more concerning reports from WWE's inner circles is the noticeable dip in morale among the talent roster. Wrestlers have voiced frustration over inconsistent storytelling, sudden talent releases following the merger, and a general lack of direction. During her previous stints in leadership, Stephanie was often credited with improving locker room culture and making talent feel heard. Her rapport with the roster could be a key asset in healing the current divide. However, this depends on whether she's allowed to wield enough influence to effect tangible change. Third, fierce industry competition gone are the days when WWE had a virtual monopoly on mainstream professional wrestling. All Elite Wrestling, AEW, has solidified itself as a credible alternative, boasting an impressive roster, innovative storytelling, and growing fan loyalty. Other promotions like NJPW, Impact Wrestling, and even smaller European and Mexican organizations are gaining ground. Stephanie's background in brand management, corporate partnerships, and audience outreach could be vital in WWE's strategy to retain its dominance. Yet again, her informal role casts doubt on how much of that expertise she can truly exercise. The rumor mill is churning, as with any McMahon-related development. Stephanie's return has triggered a flurry of rumors, some plausible, others outlandish. Here's a breakdown of the most persistent ones making the rounds. The power play theory. The most widely discussed theory is that Stephanie, in collaboration with Triple H, is laying the groundwork for a strategic return to power. Insiders suggest that they may be quietly aligning with TKO executives or key WWE board members to challenge Vince's grip on creative and corporate decision-making. Should this theory prove true, it could lead to a seismic shift in WWE's future leadership, especially if Vince's legal and PR troubles resurface. 2. Involvement in potential sale talks. Though WWE is now under the TKO Holdings structure, rumors persist that further mergers or even outright sales could be on the table. Entertainment giants like Disney, Comcast, or Amazon have long been speculated as potential suitors. Stephanie's reappearance has sparked whispers that she may be involved in strategic planning for such moves. Her corporate savvy and experience with media giants make her a valuable asset in any high-stakes negotiation. Even without a title, her insights could steer some of WWE's biggest business decisions in the coming years. 3. Creative direction behind the curtain. Many believe Stephanie is already subtly influencing WWE's creative product, especially in areas she's historically championed. These include the women's division, community outreach, and younger audience engagement. Her fingerprints might already be seen in the recent reinvigoration of the women's roster and the push for more inclusive, family-friendly content. If true, it would mark a quiet but impactful contribution that aligns with her past successes during the women's evolution and beyond. Mixed public and fan reception as expected, the wrestling world is divided about Stephanie's return. Supporters praise her as a steady, modernizing force who prioritizes talent wellness, business innovation, and inclusive storytelling. They see her return as a beacon of hope during a volatile period. Critics, however, remain wary. They argue that the McMahon family's ongoing drama risks further destabilizing WWE at a time when the industry demands clarity and leadership. For them, Stephanie's re-entry feels like more corporate chess rather than genuine progress. On social media, reactions have been explosive. Hashtags like "Sows Welcome Back Stephanie" and "Power Struggle 2025" trend regularly, reflecting the emotional charge surrounding her quiet return. Reddit threads, Twitter debates, and podcast discussions are ablaze with speculation about what's next. A defining moment for Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon's current role, vague as it may be, has the potential to reshape WWE's path once again. With her legacy, intellect, and insider knowledge, she could be the catalyst for a new era defined by transparency, equality, and innovation. But if she's pulled into another power struggle or blocked from exerting real influence, her return could also mark the beginning of a deeper crisis in WWE's leadership. The balancing act between her familial loyalties, professional ambitions, and the broader future of the company is delicate. Ultimately, Stephanie McMahon's story is still being written. What happens over the next few months, or even years, could define not only her legacy, but also WWE's direction in a post-Vince era. Whether she becomes the architect of WWE's next evolution, or a symbolic player in another corporate drama, remains to be seen. One thing is certain, the world of professional wrestling is watching. And with Stephanie McMahon quietly re-entering the spotlight, WWE's next chapter could be its most compelling yet.